What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video, and here we got for you guys today quotes from villains who are completely right, part 2. So I said I was gonna do a part 2 to this video, and you guys, I heard your prayers and I answered. So the first one, I gotta say, the first one, I was familiar with a lot of villains in that show, in that video, but I know like very little. How am I gonna say this? I know a lot of villains that was in that video, but there was a few that I didn't know. So I didn't really have too much context to go with what they were saying. But for most of them, I was like, yeah, I pretty much understood their pain and understood why they were the way they were. Especially Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda. I understand a lot of his frustrations, you know, during that whole spill he had, that whole speech, especially in the movie. And yeah, he didn't deserve anything he had going, like, you know, doing what he was doing was bad, of course, but what led up to that, I completely understand. I completely understand why he was the way he was. So I didn't really blame him too much. Even the Toy Story villain, he said something that was great, like that was just facts. He said whatever he said, it was facts. I remember me saying that it was facts, whatever he said. But what he was doing was obviously wrong. You know, no matter what he said, you know, it was obviously wrong what he was doing. But yeah, let's just get into this video, man. Part 2.
Everybody is awful these days. Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy. It's enough to make anyone crazy.
It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair!
Oh, I forgot how terrible he looked in this movie. Oh my god. Nasty. It makes you think of the Batman Arkham series. You know, they captured his face very well. Very, very well. Harvey Dent? Yeah, that his face, that one half of his face on the left side is nasty. That is so nasty. Him, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit. Just off the fact of how terrible his face is. But what I was gonna say about Joker, because I'm pretty sure that was the Joker from 2019. That his story is crazy. When you have a story like that about the Joker, it's totally understandable why he even ended up in that whole little journey of him becoming crazy and like him taking it a step a notch, and like him, you know, becoming of who he was, obviously, from the down to before he like did like a clown business thing. Like he was still, like life was not on his side. Let's just keep it about time, and life was not on his side at all. He went through some trials and tribulations. I remember watching that movie and I'm like, oh my god, like it's just one bad luck after another bad luck after another. Like it just kept like just going down for him every turn he took. I feel bad for him too. Way more than Harvey Dent, of course, but him I felt bad for a lot.
You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time. You were wrong. The world is cruel. And the only morality in a cruel world is chance.
This universe is finite, its resources finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction.
You don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
Okay. I gotta talk about Thanos. I gotta talk about him. This one I'm passionate about because it's like he was right. He was right though. That's the thing. But not towards the end part, but towards like the parts of where civilizations and like not everybody's not gonna be able to live in like this one space if you keep overpopulating it over time. You know what I mean? He was right. He was right. It's just that the part where he took a turn is where he started to act like he was God and started like breaking off, like just started killing anybody that didn't really belong, I guess. So he tried to like break that halfway point to where it's like, okay, so these this 50-50 of people will die, and then these 50 other people will stay alive. I keep them alive, but I keep the other 50, cease to exist. So they won't cease to exist in this life anymore. That's where it was wrong. But everything else to a point, I was like, I kind of agree with him a little bit. It's wrong that it's happening, but it's like, what? It's like you just gotta live with it at this point. But he was completely right about that part, the overpopulation part, and how it was gonna be a problem. Someone had to deal with it, but it's like, oh man, it's just he didn't go about it the right way. He could have came up with solutions, true, like even though probably none of the solutions probably would have helped, but he just took it too far. That's just what it is.
See, I've traveled. All you species are the same. You all think you're the center of the universe. You have no idea.
I figured out way back. God is all powerful. He cannot be all good. And if he is all good, then he cannot be all powerful.
Oh.
If you can make God bleed, then people will cease to believe in him. And they will be blood in the water. And the sharks will come.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Facts.
Not a bad person. Just had bad luck.
Life is cruel. Why should the afterlife be any different?
See, madness, as you know, is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
I'm going to show the
Pain!
world what true pain is, and stop all wars with the terror that pain will inspire. I shall lead the world down the road to stability and to peace.
You see the
Bro, man, Pain was such a good villain. It's not even like, even though like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but even though he wasn't who like everybody thought he was originally, and he turned out to be somebody completely different, he was still a great villain. And like the most interesting by far, the most mystery type villain that you will ever come across. The way he even showed himself originally, like him being that much of a problem, even though he was like quote unquote like a side character at first, and then came out of the woodworks and then started becoming like the main problem out of nowhere. That the way they did that was so awesome. Even watching it as a little kid, go watch Naruto if you haven't. It's an anime. You gotta go watch Naruto. You gotta watch Naruto just for this villain alone. Even if you don't like it in general, you gotta catch up to him. Yeah, he was an awesome villain.
Your death changes everything. If I were to tell you the exact date and time of your own death, it would shatter your world completely. I know. In a split second, your world's cracked open. You look at things differently, you smell things differently. You savor everything, be it a glass of water or a walk in the park. And the irony of it is that keeps them from really living their life. It keeps them drinking that glass of water, but never really tasting it.
There is no good and evil. There is only power. And those too weak to seek it.
So it's your fault.
No, it wasn't me. It was...
First rule of leadership. Everything is your fault.
But
It's a bug-eat-bug world out there, princess.
The trouble with loyalty to a cause is that the cause will always betray you.
The betrayal doesn't depend on how much or how deeply you love someone. It depends on the magnitude of the dilemma they put in front of you. Would you betray your loved one? At first, no. But what would happen if someone told you that if you did, you'd be given a medicine that could cure your beloved brother?
Being brilliant's not enough.
Listen. There has been. The Last of Us would be a good example. Like if you've seen the show, right? It would be a great example to make this point. Now I gotta see if I say it right. Okay, so there was his two characters, right? They were brothers. One was an adult and one was still a child at the time. In order to save his brother, I think, I don't know exactly what he had or what was wrong with him, but he basically had to give up he was like a rat, right? He had to give up information. Oh, he had to give up a leader, to save his brother, to get the medicine, to get what he needed. So he had to rat out, his own kind of like his own community in a way. Give away their leader, or his leader, to help his little brother. And it's like, some people will say he's bad for that, but for him, he's like, I'm not gonna sit here and let my brother like die away from this disease, or like this thing that's wrong with him. I'm gonna help him. That's my job. As a brother. And some people's gonna look at it as like, you trade out your community just to help one person, when you could have, you stopped like a whole community from building and taking over, type thing. That's how people will view it. So it's like, but you've been connected to this person, to your brother for so long, and to see him like just pass away like that, and it's like, it's kind of your fault that you didn't help him, or whatever you call it. But it's like, what do you do in that situation? So it's like, and that was a perfect example right there. That was a perfect example. Like, you would do anything for your loved one. You would do anything for your loved ones until something else is put in front of you that's gonna make you change your mind, or make you view things a little bit more different, to make you view a little bit more differently. And then now what do you do? Now what you gonna choose? So it's like, then you're not completely good, or you're not completely bad. Then you're not. A lot of people is gonna say you're not the person they thought you was. In that sort of sense. But yeah, it's tough. Oh, there you go.
Young man, you have to work hard. Intelligence is not a privilege, it's a gift. And you use it for the good of mankind.
We're not here because we're free. We're here because we're not free. There's no escaping reason, no denying purpose. Because as we both know, without purpose, we would not exist.
That's a fact.
Purpose that created us. Purpose that connects us. Purpose that pulls us. That guides
this the Matrix?
That drives us.
I've never seen it.
Purpose that defines. Purpose that binds.
If that is the Matrix.
Why haven't you done it already?
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Now you listen to me. You can't quit. You're nothing without me. Nothing, you worm. Stars lose their brightness. Idols fall. Agents are forever. You're a flash in the pan. You're yesterday's news.
You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine. We're both just ordinary men who have been driven to seek vengeance in the name of justice.
Yep.
And if one comes to call vengeance justice, such justice will only breed further vengeance and trigger a vicious cycle of hatred.
Yep.
Right now, we live in such a cycle. I know the past and can foretell our future. It is the same as our history. So we believe that human beings simply cannot understand each other, and they never will.
What do you get?
I don't think so.
When you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash?
Call the police,
I'll
Chief.
tell you what you get.
Call the police.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Oh! But he was right though. That's not, see, don't skip over the message. He was right though. No matter, see what he just did, that was wrong. But he was still right. This is what you get when society breaks you down and then builds you back up as this. This is what y'all made. This is what you're gonna get. It's wrong that he's acting in a sort of way like this, but this is what you get when you have a broken and beaten down person. This is what you're gonna get mostly every single time, Because some people, react to it completely differently. But mostly this is what you're gonna get. I want to say 95, probably even 90% of the time,
Good night. And always remember, that's...
Breaking news.
popular TV talk show host Murray.
Amazing video. Amazing.
The live telecast of his program by.
Amazing video. I'm telling you, man. These quotes from villains, people be sleeping. People be sleeping on these quotes from villains. I'll be listening. Like I said, I'm gonna keep going to Kung Fu Panda with Tai Lung. I'm gonna keep going there. I heard what he was saying. Like back then as a kid, obviously no, I was just watching for the movie because it was a panda. He was doing kung fu. Of course, that's interesting. But when as I got older and watched it, I'm like, wait, Tai Lung is spitting right now. He's actually spitting some facts, and I could see why he was the way he was. Like you give him false hopes and dreams, and then when he tries to act upon them, you completely change your whole tune and throw that out the window like it was nothing but like lies and like half truths. But in reality, he never got what he wanted because you kind of lied to him in a way, and didn't and you acted upon those hopes and dreams, and someone said something different, and then it was totally out the window. So this is why you got to be careful about who you mentor and who you teach, and then for Tai Lung too, how you gonna let that stop you? How you gonna let obviously it didn't stop him. He chose a different path, which was wrong, but that's what happens when you're led this false path and you don't know what to do after. You don't know what your purpose is anymore. And when we first see Tai Lung, he's in jail. He's just he's in prison and don't know what to do. So when he gets out, of course he's gonna have hatred and resentment towards Shifu and everything like that. And hey, someone had to stop him, and that was the panda. He did what he was supposed to do. That was his purpose. That was what he was made to become, and that's what Tai Lung was made to become eventually. Yeah. So a lot of people don't see villains as worth listening to or worth understanding because of what they have done in that moment. But when you show them their backstory, or some of them, even when you don't really get the backstory at first, you get them later on. Even like I said, even in the beginning, it's you gotta understand them at some level or some degree, that why they are the way they are. You gotta understand at some point. You might not like them in the moment, of course, but when you understand, when you get their story, you're like, okay, I see where you're going. So that's just what happens. That's just what it is. That's what they have become to be like. But yeah, great video. Of course, I'm gonna be reacting to part 3. It gets better every video I watch. It gets better, and especially from the movies I haven't watched from this channel, or I haven't watched in general. They still spitting too. They still remind me of other movies I've watched, so it's great to see. But this is the end of the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. Go to my Patreon where all of my block reactions will be without the copyright and without the blur on your screen, of course. And turn on your post notifications so you can be notified every time I drop a new video, because I promise you guys, you do not want to miss the upcoming videos I have to come. 2023 to 2024, all bangers. I'm not going to lie to you, all bangers. And if you want to further support, go down to my Cash App. It's in the link in the description down below. Thank you guys for all the love and support that I've received over this channel. I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and I hope you guys are here to stay. But with that being said, you guys already know this, but I'm out of here, man.